Morning, everybody. What's happening? 18 degrees today on the 27th of October. Got old Jack. Hey, Jack. Busy watching the river. Parky. As you can see, it's nice and overcast this morning. Grass got a lot of lacquer water. Hey, Mr. Jack. Hey. The old man. No? You're like, cheers, you stir my peas. I'm out of here. It's 18 degrees as well, so it's a nice cool day. So, yeah. And decided to sit down here in the dark corner because the wind that's blowing over there is just a tad bit chilly, and I think it will interfere with the speaker, you know. So yeah, right, halfway through the week. Eh, halfway, and then it's only another few more days. For those who are lucky to still have work after this COVID, can relax and chill for the weekend. Right, please remember, I am not a member of AA or NA or CA, any of the A's, as they are not a part of me. Okay, please remember I purely do this for myself as well as to try and hopefully help that one still suffering addict out there that may get something from these videos. Right, need the cap up a little bit. Has it too much of a shadow here? We'll leave the cap up. So yeah, get irritated after a while with the beard, so I just shave the bloody thing off. Okay, so thought for the day. The thought for the day is to go out and at least make one person's day. Okay, make them smile. Let them in front of you at the till. You know, say sorry. You can take my place. It's fine. I'll swap places with you, especially if they're an elderly person. Um, offer to push the elderly person's trolley if you want. The thing is the thought for the day is just to go out of your way to help one person, and that can be with anything. Okay, if you staying at home, all right, do the washing for your wife or your mom or whoever. Okay, I don't mean the dishes, I mean the washing. Do the washing. Do the dishes too while you're at it. You know, just go out of your way just to help that one person today. That's all. That's the thought for the day. Right. So, as I mentioned before with AA and that, I do like the literature. All right. I do prefer. I like the gist for today book, as there's always something in there that I can get for the day. Okay. So let us start. The heading is living in the present, because in active addiction we were living in a fantasy world that I had most of the time, isn't it? Oh, sorry, I still got Sandman stuff in my eyes. Sandman stuff. Okay, basic text, page 29. We want to look our past in the face, see it for what it really was, and realize and realize it so we can live today. Let's read that again. Yes. What do you want? Don't care. Okay, so let's read that again. We want to look our past in the face, see it for what it really was, and realize, oh, never mind. Realize it's release it so we can live today. Okay, let me read that again. If we want to look our past in the face, see it for what it really was, and release it so we can live today. Basic text, page 29. I like that. I want to look my past in the face, see it for what it really was, and release it so I can live today. Just change those two words. Eh? See my past for what it really was. Put it in simple words, shit show. End of story. Okay. For many of us, the past is like a bad dream. Our lives aren't the same anymore, but we still have fleeting, highly charged emotional memories of a really uncomfortable past. So I want to bring that up now to attention now. People tend to also relapse is when they start thinking about the good times that they had with this substance. So if you are sober enough and clear-minded enough, you look back and see how many of those wonderful, awesome days that you say you had when you were high or drunk or whatever, how many of them did you actually have? Because I can tell you now, they weren't complete days, they were moments. I will admit, there were fleeting moments that I enjoyed, that I remember as being a good time. Fleeting, just a moment, a speck in my timeline. The rest was a nightmare. You're fighting with somebody, you're screaming at somebody, somebody stole your shit, you stole somebody's shit. The good times were just a speck, just a tiny speck in your timeline. Be honest, you know what I'm talking about. Right. The guilt, fear, and anger that once dominated us may spill into our new life, complicating our efforts to change and grow. The guilt and fear and anger that once dominated us may spill into our new life, complicating our efforts to change and grow. The guilt and the fear and the anger, this will be tomorrow's lesson, is the 5 stages of grief. We will go through it in detail. Actually, you know what? We'll do it today. All right. Seeing as we are on it. Okay. This is why we say you need to work through your stuff with a counselor or a sponsor and that. I said you don't bring that mess from the past into your new life. Okay, let's move on. 12 steps are the formula that helps us learn to put the past in place. Basically just what I said. Steps are the formula that helps us learn to put the past in place. Okay? You got it? I read it twice for you. Through the fourth and fifth steps, we became aware that our old behavior didn't work. We became aware that our old behavior did not work. For those of you who have surrendered fully to your recovery, you know what I'm talking about when I say your old behavior did not work. When I surrendered, it was a matter of, you know what? My life is unmanageable. My life is uncontrollable. I do not make correct decisions. I do not make correct decisions. Handed it over to my higher power, handed it over to my counselor, and I said, right, it's time that I use these things, close this thing, and use this thing. What do you have to tell me? How can I change my life? Humble yourself. Okay. We became aware that our old behavior didn't work. Became aware. I like that. We ask a higher power to relieve us of our shortcomings in the sixth and seventh steps. And we begin to be relieved of the guilt and fear that plagued us for so many years. In the eighth and ninth step, by making amends, we demonstrate to others that our lives are changing. This is the thing I spoke about this the other day. When you start making amends where possible, okay, where possible, meaning once again, where possible, or if it's going to cause more damage or not to either them or B you. So those you don't make amends to. If you think writing a letter will be okay, then just write a letter and post it to them. Okay, so making amends to people, the rest of the family or loved ones will start seeing that you're actually doing something this time around. This time around that you're actually doing something. Because all the other times we all said sorry, sorry, I'm so sorry. It won't happen again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry for us became a word that has no meaning. For people like us now, addicts in recovery, it is actions. Our actions now speak louder than our words. Start making the amends, people will start seeing that you're doing something about your problem. Your problem. Say it again. Your problem. Think about it. Right. Blah, 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 blah. Guilty of the plague us for so many years. Amends, we demonstrate to others that our lives are changing. Right? Because that's what we want people to see is that we're changing. We're doing good. Right? But remember, please, people, remember, please, this does not happen overnight. Recovery is a journey that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. It's a good one. It's an adventure and a half, trust me. Okay. We are no longer controlled by the past. We are no longer controlled by the past. Once the past loses its control over us, we are free to find a new way to live. Ways that reflect who we truly are. Like I said the other day, in addiction, when we started full on addiction, we lost a little bit of who we are. And I just want to skip quickly on to show you something. Check what he does. All the ferns in the house, he walks under them all so slow as they tickle his back. But he looks so creepy when he does it. Jack, why are you being creepy? He's a funny dog. All the ferns. in the house. We've got ferns in the back as well. He walks under the leaves and he just walks slowly underneath it. So slow. First time we saw it was like, what are you doing? Anyway, back at the task at hand. Focus, bacon. Focus. Right. Live lives that reflect who we truly are. Okay, so back as I was saying, somewhere in our addiction, we lost who we were. Okay, we lost the person or the thing, or I just like to say that, I lost my soul. I lost Desmond. Okay, I lost Desmond. I became it. It's the best way I could describe it for myself was I became it. Okay. So now in recovery, you want to live the way which reflects who you truly are. A lot of times in counseling, I say to people, and I'm repeating this again, is I ask them, I say to them, right, but now only after you've been sober for a few weeks, I say, who are you? Ask yourself this question. Okay, you can stand in front of the mirror or whatever. Ask yourself the question, who are you? What do you like? What do you like? Simple things. Let's start with simple things. Do you actually like coffee? Or do you prefer tea? What is your favorite color? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite time of year? Stupid things like that. Little stupid things like that. And I'm telling you, when you're in active addiction, you lost the person who you were, who made you you, who made you unique. So now when you go into recovery, you start finding out once again, and this is the beautiful part. You start finding out once again who you are. What made you special? What made you unique? It's a journey. It's a wonderful journey. It's an awesome journey. Right. Just for today, I don't have to be controlled by my past. I will live this new day as the new person I am becoming. Oh, I will live this new day as the new person I am becoming. Who are you becoming? Are you becoming that special person? That person that was once lost? Because you remember how many of you have had your your loved ones, mother, father, whatever, look at you and say, well, look at you and say, where where is so and so? Let me just use my name as. So where's Desmond? I want my Desmond back. Your Desmond, and you're like, why do you mean your Desmond? It's because Desmond is no longer there. There's something else in place. I deal in counseling. I deal a lot with families and fathers and mothers and husbands and wives and whatever, where they say, "Yes, I just want my son back or daughter. I just want my husband or wife back." And a lot of people are like, "But I'm right here, bro." Like, it's like, no, the outside you is here, but the you is not here. Okay, so let us go, as I said, about the 5 stages of grief. Okay, so you can call it the 5 stages of denial or grief. All right. So people say, but why do you use the 5 stages of grief for addiction? And speak simple because that addict is losing something dear to them, dear to them, something that they've relied on now for it can be years, something that is something that they have learned to be able to trust. Okay, yeah, we fall into love with our substance. We trust our substance. It's the only thing we believe is our substance. So now you're going into rehab or recovery. Now you're losing that one thing that made you feel safe when you were on it. Hey, remember, when you were on it, you felt safe. For example, myself, crazy. I'm all over the place in the morning until I get my first hit. Calm down. I got you. I got you. Addiction has got me. It's keeping me safe. Now going to recovery and now got to lose that safety net. That thing that we thought was keeping us safe. So now we go into grief because to us, we are literally losing someone. Okay. So we break down the five stages for you. Okay, so first you have, excuse me. So first you got denial, anger, bargaining. Okay. Then you will have depression and acceptance. Finally, okay, as your last one is always acceptance. So to break denial down for you, denial is a normal reaction. Sorry, hold on, someone's calling. Oh, sorry. Okay, so where was I? Denial. Denial. Denial is a normal reaction to rationalizing overwhelming emotions. It is a defense mechanism that buffers the immediate shock of loss. Okay, you got that. Anger. As the numbing effects of the denial stage of grief begins to wear off, the pain of loss starts to firmly take hold as we search for blame, feel intense guilt, and lash out. When we start to feel guilt in that, when we start thinking, when we start focusing, when we start getting sober, when the mind is now a few days clean, we start focusing on the people we hurt, the things we stole, the things we said, the things we did. It starts playing with us. Now we want to go and use again, so we don't need to think about that, so we can block it out. Right. Okay. Bargaining is number 3. Bargaining is the what if stage. This is my favorite with recovering addicts in rehab. This one, ooh, you must hear an addict in rehab with this one. But anyway, I'll explain now. Bargaining is the what if stage of grief, and it serves as an important purpose. It provides temporary escape from pain, provides hope, and gives a person time to adjust to the reality of the situation. You know how many addicts come and they start bargaining, like, can I just go, can I just go out for like 2 days or just like one day? So I've got stuff to sort out. I'll come back. I promise you, I'll come back. Okay. uh, that to me, in us, in our parts of recovery, is always the funniest. Is when we start bargaining to try and get out. And the things we end up saying, the things we come up with is hilarious. Right, so now we're moving on to number 4. But first, we've got. Hello. Excuse me. The camera's on you. Say hello. Say hello. Goodbye. Shame she's not feeling well. I'm going to take her to the vet again just now for a checkup. She had one 2 days ago that gave her a shot in that. So we're taking her again today just to see if she's getting better. Right. Number 4, mensen. Number 4, people, is depression. This type of depression is not a sign of mental illness. It is the appropriate response to a great loss. You might experience intense sadness, decreased sleep, reduced appetite, and loss of motivation are common. Okay. Like I said, for an addict, we are losing someone, so we are going into grief. Okay. Last one. Acceptance. Acceptance refers to accepting the reality of loss and the fact that nothing can change that reality. This does not mean that the person is okay with the loss. It just simply means we've accepted it. Now, I also want to say something about addicts in recovery and that. If you have not fully gone through the 5 stages of your grief, grieving for your substance or whatever it may have been, if you have not gone through those 5 stages, by the time you leave your safety net, which is rehab is a safety net, people. Okay, mommies and daddies, uncles and aunties, all you people. Once that addict leaves rehab, walks out the gate of rehab, that is when the recovery starts. Because while you're in rehab, you are safe. You are kept safe. You're in a safety bubble, protected from the outside world. Rehab lingo. When you're inside rehab lingo, inside the rehab, people always talk about the outside. I can't wait till I go outside. I wonder what the outside is like. Alright, so rehab is a safety net. Once they leave rehab, okay, that is when recovery starts. That is when the journey starts. Okay, because now the safety net has been taken away. So if you have not gone through your 5 stages of grief before you leave your safety net, people, and this is the hard honest truth, this is why many fall back and relapse. Think about it. Anyways, lekker people, peace be with you all. God bless. Adios.